Picture this. You're in a studio in Renaissance Florence, and the only thing lighting the room is a single candle. Its light dances across these incredible sketches. There's swirling water, detailed anatomical studies, designs for machines that shouldn't even exist yet. And right there in the middle of it all are two huge paintings, both just incomplete. This is the world of Leonardo da Vinci, and it's the key to understanding his greatest paradox. You know, in one of his own notebooks, Leonardo actually scribbled this really haunting question: "Tell me if anything was ever done." It's a line that just cuts right to the bone, doesn't it? It reveals this lifelong struggle, a mind that was always leaping to the next problem, the next mystery. So why? Why did the ultimate Renaissance man, a certified genius, leave so many of his masterpieces unfinished? Well, that's the question we're going to try and answer today. So our investigation is going to start in Florence. We're looking at his first period as an independent artist, a time when he started two works that were set to completely change the art world, right before he just walked away from them.
Okay, so let's set the scene with this timeline. It's 1478, and Leonardo is finally his own boss. He's got his own studio. By 1481, he lands this huge commission for the Adoration of the Magi. Around that same time, he starts on a much more personal piece, Saint Jerome. Things are looking great. But then, in 1482, he just abruptly packs his bags and heads off to Milan, leaving both of these incredible projects as little more than sketches on a panel.
Now, before we really dive into the evidence, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, share and like our videos. The information in the video is compiled from open sources. Thank you. Your support really helps us keep making these deep dives. Okay, let's open the first case file.
All right, let's get into it. Case file number 1, the Adoration of the Magi. The monks who commissioned this gave him a 30-month deadline. Leonardo works on it for about a year, and then nothing. He's gone. He left it just like this ghostly world of brown and black, basically a promise of what could have been.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at how Leonardo just shatters tradition here. The usual paintings of this scene were very formal, kind of stiff, with everyone lined up on the sides. But Leonardo, no way. He throws the Virgin and Child right into the dead center. This creates this incredible pyramid of figures, a literal vortex of emotion and movement that's all swirling around this calm central point. I mean, it's absolutely revolutionary. And his vision was so complex. The background here isn't just filler, not at all. On the left, you've got this ruined pagan building that's being rebuilt. That's the new Christian world rising. On the right, you've got these horsemen locked in this chaotic battle. That's the old world. The entire painting is basically a symbolic battlefield, a war between the past and the future happening right behind the main event. All right, let's move on to our second case file, the incredibly haunting Saint Jerome. If the Adoration was his big public statement, this much more personal work? Well, this one shows us a whole other layer of Leonardo's obsessive mind.
So on the surface, this is a painting of Saint Jerome, right? He's a hermit, out in the desert, feeling remorseful. The anatomy alone is just breathtaking. But Leonardo hid something in this painting, something absolutely astonishing that has nothing to do with religion and everything to do with science.
Okay, get ready for this because it's incredible. Look closely at the background, in that space created by the curve of the lion's body. Modern analysis has found something Leonardo hid right there in plain sight, a scientifically precise anatomical drawing. What you were looking at is a view of the human skull detailing the sinuses and major veins of the brain.
And here's the crucial part. This might be the very first time in history that these specific parts of our vascular system were ever illustrated. Think about that. This isn't just a religious painting. Leonardo turned it into a secret page from his scientific notebooks. It's a hidden fusion of his two biggest obsessions, art and anatomy. Just mind-blowing.
So what is the thread that connects these two abandoned masterpieces? Was it just a short attention span? No, it's something much deeper. These paintings actually reveal a profound philosophy Leonardo had about art, about nature, and really about reality itself.
And that brings us to the core of this whole mystery, this Italian concept called Non-Finito, which just means unfinished. See, for Leonardo, leaving a piece of art incomplete wasn't a failure, not even close. It was a deliberate, philosophical choice. For Leonardo, nature was this living, breathing thing that was in a state of constant change, of perpetual motion. Nothing ever really ends, it just transforms into something new. So in his mind, to finish a painting, to draw that final line and declare it done, was to impose a fake,
an artificial end on a process that in nature is literally endless. To him, finishing it would be a lie.
And this quote from him just captures it perfectly. The real art wasn't about the final product on the wall. The art was the process itself, the observing, the questioning, the endless, maddening attempt to capture the infinite complexity of the living world on a flat piece of wood. To finish it was to stop observing, to stop learning.
So, if we reframe this, if we stop seeing his unfinished paintings as failures and start seeing them as deliberate acts, what does that tell us about Leonardo's true legacy?
It tells us to look right here. More than 8,000 pages of his notebook still exist, and they are a beautiful, chaotic, brilliant mess. A direct record of a mind wrestling with everything, from how birds fly to how water flows to the inner workings of the human heart.
And this, right here, is the ultimate revelation. His true, defining masterpiece. It wasn't the Mona Lisa, it was this vast, sprawling, and fundamentally unfinished encyclopedia of human curiosity. The paintings, they were just laboratories. They were experiments for a much, much grander project, the quest to understand everything.
Leonardo's glorious failures, they force us to ask a really fundamental question about both art and genius. They challenge us to see that maybe, just maybe, the most profound works of art aren't the ones that give us all the answers, but the ones that leave us with the most beautiful and compelling questions.